Man, what's up, world? It's your boy, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video. And I think there are levels of enlightenment, levels of knowledge and understanding. And I don't know why I'm like this, but the world outside of myself has always been fascinating to me. Why people do what they do? Why is this like this? I got a real inquisitive mind. And lately, I've been on this kick of um, the drunkenness or becoming drunk of the wine of Babylon, right? Now, behind the scenes in my personal, behind the scenes in my personal life, like routinely, women who are healthcare professionals of varying, education levels, always reach out to me for insight, my take on things, so on and so forth, right? Now, mind you, I'm nowhere near educated as any of them, but based on them being around me, they feel like, I'm genuine, or I have people's best interests at heart, or, I have leadership qualities, so on and so forth, right? But they'll ask me about a situation, and then when I give them my take on it, and then what's also perplexing is the fact that I guess I have some semblance of a prophetic gift, which isn't really spiritual prophetic, even though it may be. It's really just my ability to see behavior and then see where it'll lead to. So it makes it look like I'm prophetic. It makes it look like I'm wise, which I guess I am now. Typically before this enlightenment, me and wisdom didn't go together. Maybe me and some intelligence of knowing things, but operating in it, nah. And it just again piggies back to what I've been saying these past 2 or 3 videos about the average woman, and I'm just talking about women here, are drunk without drinking. Like I said, when people are drunk, they can't reason correctly. They have no critical thinking skills. They're more impulsive. They're delusional. They lose their sense of, equilibrium. Typically, you're operating under a different vibration. So typically, the you who you are when you're sober and the you that you are when you're drunk are two different people. You know what I'm saying? And to a great, like, I'm just seeing it within like the last 3 days, or maybe my um, sense of observation is becoming more keen, or my spirit's become more sensitive to the outside world. And anybody can turn it around if they put in the work. But how many people can actually do a functional job when they're drunk? So how many people can actually truly work on themselves if they're living in a delusion or an altered sense of reality? It seems to me that the average modern woman wants nothing to do with reality, wants nothing to do with accountability. I was talking to a particular coworker of mine, and in numerous times I would point out to her how she would make hypocritical or contradictory statements within the same sentence. Like, she was talking about she's attracted to toxic guys. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And then she was like, she liked the meat of toxic guys, right? But that implies then that dudes who aren't effed up can't F. Like, well, how do we all get here? You see what I'm saying? You're making it sound like a dude can't properly have sex with you unless he's a dysfunctional man. You hear how delusional that sounds. So she had said something to the effect of, well, I've been with guys who aren't toxic, and they had fucked up things about them, or effed up things about them. I mean, people might have personality perks or something about they, you know what I mean, da da da. But if you're saying they're not toxic, but they have effed up things about them, that is the epitome of toxicity. You just made two polar opposites coexist at the same time. That's like living in a damp desert. It doesn't exist. And people get on me about being black and white, because I'm more or less like either it is or it ain't. All this gray area to me is where things get all misconstrued and discombobulated, and nobody can figure it out. And it's foggy, that's why it's gray area, because you can't tell what it is. And then when you tell people what it is, they don't want to deal with it. They want to hang in the fog. And I'm like blown away, like, and again, to some degree, I exhibited these traits myself, but it's almost like getting an upgrade on your phone. Like, I don't even understand why I did certain things I did. I just know I don't want to do it no more, because I know it's BS. You know what I'm saying? this the delusion, and something is going on. And I heard I believe it was the Think of Man's Templar and Minister Jack, maybe, and it kind of reminded me of this. And then you know how like you buy a car, like say you buy, I don't know, a Camry, but then you'll start noticing like everybody else who has a Camry. You know what I mean? And something is going. I remember back in the day, right? And this is what I really wanted to cover. Black women don't look the same. Something is going on with them biologically, physiologically, or whatever, man. If you look at like the old R&B CD covers of the 90s, 80s, they still had collarbones. They still had feminine attributes, qualities, traits. You know, even the bigger women were just like big and cuddly or soft or doo-doo-doo. I do not know what the hell's going on. And I don't know if this is a judgment or whatever from acting like men, so you'll start to look like one and then they're embracing it. But I'm noticing, and I've been noticing, but to a greater heightened sense of degree, women don't even, black women aren't even, they don't even, like, unless they're like maybe at best college age, after about college, once they turn into 24, 25, it seems like they start mutating almost. I've seen so many black women with broad shoulders, with strong jaw lines and facial features. You know what I mean? Like she chub, but she like Larry Holmes in the face. Like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Or they might, or it could almost look like they a transmission, for lack of a, you gotta talk different on here, right? And then I noticed, like, on my journey, like when I get sober, it's like I stop, and I think it's because I'm coming more masculine as I take more accountability for myself. So I think in response, I desire a more feminine woman. But I notice I stop, like I don't stop, I don't see black women like sexually attractive because I'm not attracted to the aura. Like, yo, and let's be honest. And then you get shamed for like calling it what it is, which is another aspect of the illusion. You know, they're not pleasant to be around. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you can essentially in society do whatever you want as a black woman without any social recourse, but somehow you're still not happy. Because the things you're doing to make you happy don't lead to fulfillment. And you don't want fulfillment because society tells you, no, that's not it. Happiness is doing whatever you want. That's no different than an alcoholic doing whatever they want. When I was out, me doing whatever I want, it almost destroyed me. And when you make these arguments to these drunken people without drinking, they begin to argue points that have no real world application. Because if that what you just said was true, how come it don't exist in your life? These are just words, and words are meaningless without action. And that's the thing. If you're drunk, how much work are you going to put in? I mean, I guess you can go to work, but what kind of quality job are you going to do? Now I see why the Bible talks about being sober-minded and vigilant. It's almost like I've walked through an invisible stargate into like a parallel dimension where left, right, left, up, down, up. To me, the insane believe themselves to be normal. But here's what's crazy. They'll say I'm crazy, but you still ask me for advice. This is insane, bro. Like, I never thought I'd see the day when I want nothing to do with my own people. And it's not really them, it's the mentality and it's the value system. The average black person vibe don't align with mine. I don't care about title. You know what I'm saying? I care about living or becoming whoever I was designed or created to be. I don't care about titles. Never really have. I don't care about social groupings that ain't real or that's based on superficiality. You know what I'm saying? It's like people get scared of you when you're able to stand on your own and be content. You know what I'm saying? In one sense, it draws them to you, and in another sense, it puts fear in them. Even though you haven't exhibited any type of violent tendencies or whatever. Even though, you get jiggy when you got to, or the situation call on. But I mean, I don't walk around like, you know what I'm saying? And by the flip, and here's another one, right? Back in the day, they used to shame black women for their body, like, the Sir Mix-a-Lot song, You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, Becky, look at her butt, it's so big, right? And, having full lips, things of that nature. And here's the bait and switch in it, right? They shame black women for having a black woman body, being curvaceous, luscious, you know what I'm talking about? But now black women don't even have the typical black women body anymore. They're funny built, they're built like fullbacks, they're obese and proud of it. You know what I mean? Their shoulders are broad, they got deeper voices. But now, primarily, I would say, from what I see, the Caucasian woman and the Hispanic woman now have bodies like black women used to have. When I go to the gym, depending on where I'm at and where I'll go, man, these white girls, and especially these Spanish women, are stacked up like flapjacks. And it's tight work off the no goat foot, bro. That's why I'm trying to get a trade. And what black women don't realize, because of the system and how it props it up, even though they see the system failing, they're about to be left out in the cold. Like, I don't think they, again, in drunkenness, how dire this social cataclysm is. Because Negroes of any sense are not coming back to save you because you've committed treason. You see what I'm saying? You've broken up the families. You've caused decent men, probably the most pain and vexation that he's experienced. The average black man, when it compares to the system or a black woman's causing more pain than getting denied for a job. You know what I'm saying? While at the same time, they have babies and have sex with and date the most degenerate men possible, and then say men ain't nothing, when these are not men. Characteristically, mentally, and then men repel them. They're scared of them. They don't want nothing to do with them. They don't want to hear no wisdom from them. This is crazy. But where do you get wisdom from? Do they even care about? They don't. They can see the society, and then it'll come up with these short-lived movement, soft girl era, and that shit ain't real. They might be out there, but it's not in their heart, yo. And I am literally, maybe the country's still propped up to some degree, but I feel like Jeremiah almost watching his people carried off into captivity. But they don't even realize it. And in my heart of hearts, I be saying like, yo, look at this, look at this. But they're drunk, so they don't care, or they don't take it serious. Even though with the people I talk to, they seen me predict stuff. They've seen me, lead, problem solve, whatever. You know what I'm saying? As I've gained these traits and abilities along my journey, or seen the need to grasp it, right? And I don't want to sleep with them. I just figured that's what I'm supposed to do. But now I'm starting to get to the point where I truly believe when the word talks about, excuse me for smoking, that's something I got to work on. That they become so reprobated, so bogged down by their own sins and lack of self-accountability, repentance, or the desire thereof, that and this goes back, like I'm essentially looking at living ghosts who will soon disappear. And if they're not like physically disappeared, the essence of their humanity is gone to another realm, man. This is real. It's real in the battlefield, B. That's why I spend most of my time on my lawn, and I wish it were different. But that's better than just fooling with any old body. This is crazy, yo. Like I'm seeing like the young brothers, like they see that they see these women are how they operate. They're not taking them seriously. Shout out to the young brothers. I see these old dudes leading them astray, talking about marry them. For what? You know what I mean? I'm kind of in that tween stage. I'm in my 40s, so you know what I mean. And I've known this for a while. It's just now with sobriety, I've been able to operate in what I know. I guess that's the epitome or the essence of wisdom. But the beginning of knowledge is sorrow. This sad out this junk. And I live in a small town of Maryland, right? And I see so many youngins. I mean, middle school age, bro. You know, as I ride through the hood or whatever, with grown folks on the porch, and they got booty shorts on and a halter top. It's like they're prepping them for whoredom. It's like the black woman is so whatever that she doesn't want her children to be better than her, which don't make no sense to me. But it does, because if you raise your child to be better than you, then that would highlight your mistakes or your faults or your shortcomings in life. And they refuse that. You know, the black woman will protect her image to the grave that don't exist. So this kind of reminds me of the word, like back like in the Old Testament when they talk about like where we fell into like the Hebrews fell into like sacrificing their kids to Moloch. I'm like, yo, what kind of culture was that where you would knowingly just sacrifice your kid? That's stupid. But here's the modern age version of it. Sacrificing your kids to whoredom. Sacrificing them with the abortion clinic. Like that don't even make no sense. But they will argue for the ability to kill their own kids for the sole purpose of doing the same behaviors that led to them having to have an abortion in the first place. They don't stop having sex. They just want sex without the consequence. It don't work like that. But you can't tell them that because they drunk of the wine of Babylon. And with that, man, I'm going to sign off, man. Ooh, ah.